The old gymnasium of Crestwood High, shrouded in the damp chill of a late October evening in 2027, reverberated with mocking laughter that cut through the stale air. Ethan Caldwell and Lucas Reed shadowed their leader, Caleb Warner, like wolves closing in on a cornered deer. 20 feet away, a silhouette lingered in the doorway, phone raised, capturing every moment. Sophie Hayes pressed her palms against the gritty floor, her body coiled tight. Then, in a blur of motion that seemed to defy gravity, she surged upward, her leg carving a flawless arc through the air. Caleb's eyes widened as his feet left the ground. Time seemed to freeze as Ethan charged, only to find himself airborne, crashing into a pile of rusted gym equipment. Lucas barely choked out a gasp before Sophie's precise hip toss sent him face first into the worn wrestling mats. 10 seconds. 3 boys down. 1 girl standing. 2 weeks earlier, the fog clung to Crestwood High in upstate New York like a secret no one dared whisper. Sophie Hayes, the new girl, pulled her faded navy hoodie tighter as she navigated the crowded entrance. It was her 3rd school in as many years, and she'd mastered the art of fading into the background. Hood up, eyes down, earbuds in, no music, just a shield against small talk. Fresh meat, someone muttered as she passed. She didn't flinch. Rule 1, never react. The hallway was a battlefield of slamming lockers and teenage bravado, reeking of cheap body spray and floor wax. At locker 412, she spun the combination, yanking the stubborn door with a practice tap. Need a hand? A voice offered, not mocking but kind. She glanced at a lanky boy with messy curls and glasses. I'm good, she said softly, turning away. I'm Ryan Kim, he tried again. You knew. She nodded, already slipping into the crowd. Rule 2, don't make friends. In AP English, Sophie claimed a back corner seat, perfect for watching without being seen. The room buzzed with chatter about homecoming and hookups worlds she didn't belong to. Then Caleb Warner strode in, all 6'3" of quarterback arrogance, flanked by Ethan and Lucas. His designer jacket screamed money. His smirk screamed trouble. His gaze locked on Sophie, and a predatory grin spread across his face. Well, look at These's stray kitten. The room hushed. Even MS. Carter, the teacher, seemed to shrink. Sophie kept her eyes on her notebook. Rule 3, don't engage. Caleb leaned over her desk, his cologne suffocating. I'm talking to you, new girl. She met his stare with a blank calm. Sophie, she said. Sophie, he mocked, savoring the word. Where are you from? Around. Ethan snickered. Thinks she's too cool for us. Thinks she's above us, Lucas added, cracking his knuckles. MS. Carter finally spoke. Gentlemen, seats. Caleb lingered, his smile a promise of trouble. Catch you later, Sophie. Lunch was a minefield. Sophie took her tray to a corner table, hoping for solitude. Caleb and his pack appeared, circling like sharks. Eating alone? That's pathetic, Caleb taunted. She took a slow bite of her sandwich. Ethan reached for her apple. Her hand flicked out, deflecting his. Mine, she said evenly. Ethan recoiled, dramatic. She touched me. Heads turned. Phones emerged. Sounds like assault, Caleb grinned. Sophie stood, tray in hand, and tried to leave. Lucas blocked her. She sidestepped. Ethan countered. A dance she knew too well. Where you going? Caleb asked. We're just being friendly. Not interested, she said flatly. Caleb's eyes darkened. No one rejected Caleb Warner. He flipped her tray, sending food splattering across her hoodie. The cafeteria erupted in gasps. Sophie stood still, ketchup dripping, her hands loose, but her fingers twitching, as if gripping something unseen. Ryan, watching from nearby, noticed. Clumsy me, Caleb sneered. Sophie's gaze flickered something sharp, dangerous, gone in an instant. Accidents happen, she said, walking away. Whispers followed. She didn't even blink. A girl named Mia, Torres murmured. Who is she? The harassment grew calculated. Day 2, her books were knocked from her desk. Day 3, vol notes slipped in her locker. Day 4, a doctored photo of her spread online. Sophie endured it with eerie calm, but Ryan noticed her subtle habits, scanning exits, never sitting with her back to a door, moving with a grace that hinted at training. "Why not report them?" he asked after school. She kept walking. They'd get a slap on the wrist, then hit harder. "So you'll just take it?" She stopped, her mask slipping for a second. "Sometimes doing nothing is smarter." "Stay away, Ryan. I'm not worth the trouble." By week 2, the torment intensified. Her locker was defaced with slurs. Her clothes vanished during gym, forcing her to wear her PE kit all day. Caleb accidentally shoved her between classes. Teachers noticed but hesitated. Mr. Ellis, her history teacher, pulled her aside. "Is everything okay? I've seen how Caleb's group treats you." She shrugged. "It's fine. They're just boys," he said, wincing at his own words. "Not in my classroom." She grabbed her bag. "Thanks, but I'm late." The old gym became Sophie's refuge, empty after school. She trained alone, burning off the rage she buried. But one Thursday they found her. Caleb's voice echoed off the walls. "Kitten thinks she's a tiger." They'd locked the side door. No escape. Ethan tossed a basketball at her head. She dodged. Lucas threw another. She deflected it. "Stop," she warned. They didn't. Caleb advanced. "You've been disrespecting me since day one." Sophie stood taller. "Your dad must hate strong women." Caleb's face flushed. "What? Bullies are cowards," she said. "What made you?" "Daddy's fists." Caleb grabbed her shoulder, spinning her toward the wall. Her hand caught his wrist, her body pivoted, and in one fluid motion, she threw him onto the mats. He gasped, winded. Ethan and Lucas froze. "That's self-defense," Sophie said, grabbing her bag. "Next time, try helping someone, Caleb. It feels better." She left, knowing it wasn't over. Word spread. By Friday, her locker was plastered with vile screenshots. Sophie collected them, calmly evidence. Mia approached. "No one's ever stood up to Caleb like that. But you're alone, and he's got a crew." "His crew's weak," Sophie replied. "Cruelty's a shaky foundation." That day, rumors swirled. Anonymous complaints about Sophie's violence. A call to her mom's workplace accusing her of dealing drugs. Principal Hayes summoned her. "Caleb says you attacked him." She pulled out her phone. "Funny, the gym cameras were off. Want my evidence of 2 weeks' harassment?" Hayes squirmed. "Without proof. So I wait until they do worse." She stood. "I'll defend myself, and you'll wish you'd acted." At lunch, Ryan and a few others, Jasmine Lee, Mia, a quiet kid named Noah, joined her table. "We're done letting them run this school," Jasmine said. More students drifted over, a small rebellion forming. Caleb watched, his empire cracking. After school, Sophie found her car's tires slashed, a note tucked under the wiper. Just the beginning. Coach Larson approached. "Sophie Hayes. Related to Daniel Hayes." Sophie tensed. "My dad. He was a legend," Larson said. "Taught you, didn't he?" "I see in your stance." Sophie nodded. "He taught me control. When not to fight." Larson smiled. "That's real strength." Monday, Sophie arrived early, planting a recorder in her locker and a motion-activated camera in her bag. A note appeared after 6th period, old gym. "After school. Alone, or we leak worse photos." She knew it was a trap, but sometimes you dismantle a trap by stepping inside. Ryan tried to stop her. "Don't go. It ends today," she said. "In 20 minutes, tell Coach Larson where I am." He nodded, reluctant. The old gym smelled of dust and decay. Caleb stood center, Ethan and Lucas flanking him. The doors slammed shut. "You humiliated me," Caleb spat. "That has consequences." "So does stalking," Sophie countered, angling her bag for the camera. "Walk away, Caleb." He sneered. "3 of us, 1 of you." She shifted her stance. "I don't need saving." "You might." Ethan lunged. Sophie sidestepped, sending him into the mats. Lucas rushed. She threw him over her hip. Caleb charged. Her legs swept his, dropping him hard. "Are we done?" she asked, standing over them. Caleb scrambled back, fear in his eyes. "This is assault." Ryan's voice cut through from the doorway. Phone recording. "Your choice is Caleb. Coach Larson, Principal Hayes, and security arrived, Larson holding her own video. Sophie used minimum force. These boys attacked her. In Hayes' office, Caleb's mother demanded Sophie's expulsion. Sophie's mom, Dr. Lena Clark, arrived, her voice ice. 3 boys cornered my daughter. She showed restraint. Larson revealed Sophie's past. A former national judo champion who quit after hospitalizing 3 attackers at her old school. I made a promise, Sophie said, staring at Caleb. No fighting unless necessary. You forced my hand. Jasmine and others burst in, sharing years of Caleb's abuse. Hayes suspended the boys for 2 weeks, mandating counseling and service. Dr. Clark fumed. That's it. Sophie intervened. It's enough if they change. The next day, Crestwood felt lighter. Sophie's locker bore thank you notes. Her corner table became a haven for the bullied. Jasmine proposed a self-defense club. Larson offered to sponsor. Sophie agreed, emphasizing confidence and de-escalation over fighting. The club grew, transforming the school. Caleb returned subdued, his parents' divorce humbling him. He left an apology note in Sophie's locker. She kept it, wary but hopeful. By June 2028, Crestwood was unrecognizable. At the final assembly, Hayes honored Sophie for changing the school's culture through courage, not violence. The ovation overwhelmed her, but she understood its weight. Larson pitched coaching. Sophie declined, but promised to consider it. Her mom's note, found in her locker, read, "Your dad would be proud. Strength with wisdom." Driving away with Ryan, Sophie smiled. She'd come to vanish, but left a legacy. Years later, Sophie's story lingered. Jasmine, now an activist, kept a photo of their club. Across schools, teachers whispered of the Crestwood miracle, sparked by a girl who stood tall when it mattered. Real strength wasn't in the fights won, but in the courage to fight for others. What would you have done in Sophie's shoes? Endured in silence, or fought back sooner? Should she have pressed charges, or was giving Caleb a chance the right call? How far should someone go to stand up to bullies? And where's the line between justice and revenge? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if this story hit home, and subscribe for more stories that challenge what strength really means.